Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Are you remembering what we covered last class?
Yes.
Have I told for a test paper?
No, ma'am.
No, sure. Don't tell me like. I think I told you.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Stop lying.
Ma'am, I should be like.
Okay, listen. Let the chapter be complete, then I'll keep a test paper. Okay, anyway, today I'm not giving you a test. We will continue with harmful microorganisms, but once the chapter is completed, you will have a test. So start preparing well in advance. Agreed? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Last class we started with harmful microorganisms, and I told you that not only human beings, plants and other organisms are affected by microbial diseases. Can you name a viral disease found in cattle? Gauri Parvati, viral disease. Shane?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
A viral disease found in cattle.
Foot and mouth disease.
Foot and mouth disease. It is caused by foot and mouth virus. Gauri Parvati, I'm not going to leave you. Tell me a bacterial disease found in both human beings and cattle. I understood that you haven't opened your textbook after previous class. Prajida?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Anthrax.
Good afternoon. Anthrax. Anthrax is caused by Hessa. Anthrax is caused by
Bacillus. Anthracis.
Bacillus anthracis, the bacterium that causes anthrax in human beings and cattle. Now we will learn about.
And those are scientific names, right?
Yes, that is why I told you have to write it when you are writing it by hand. Like while it is printed, it will be done in italics. When you are writing, you have to underline both the words separately, and the first name should begin with capital letter. So more about the rules of writing scientific name you will learn in class 9. Okay, so we are going to learn about a few more diseases found in plants.
Ma'am, did you take some common human diseases caused by microorganisms?
Some common plant diseases. As I told you earlier, there are different microbial diseases found in plants. Here, 3 examples are given. You should by heart the names of these diseases, the plants affected, the mode of transmission, and also the causative organism. We'll start with the first one, citrus canker. Can you tell me which plants are affected by this disease? Citrus fruits, lemon, orange, etc. So here you can see the picture of a citrus plant affected by the disease. You can see some patch. It is because of a bacterial infection, and you call the diseases citrus canker. It spreads through air. The microbe will spread through air. Now moving on to the next disease, rust of wheat. So on the leaves of wheat plants, you can see some patch which resembles rust. Rust, you know? What is rust? Which metal?
Iron oxide.
Iron. So similar patches you can find on the leaves of wheat plants. And you call the diseases rust of wheat caused by a fungus, and it spreads through air and the seeds. Now, next one. Yellow vein mosaic disease. You can see discoloration of the veins. You know what are veins? Yes. So the vein will get, usually they'll be green in color. You can see the discoloration of the vein. And this is found in bindi or okra. By which name you're more familiar?
Bindi.
Okay, Vendakya or lady's finger. So okra, bindi, lady's finger, all these are same. So yellow vein mosaic disease in bindi or okra. I use the term
Lady's
bindi.
finger, right?
Correct. These terms are used in your textbook. So that is why I have also mentioned the same names. It's a viral disease and it will spread through insects. So you should know the causative organism. For multiple choice or 1 mark question, it can be asked, name a viral disease found in plants or a bacterial disease found in plants, or which plants are affected by the canker disease caused by bacteria. So you should be thorough with the names of the diseases, plants affected, mode of transmission, and also the causative organism. Okay, I'll give you just a few seconds to learn it by heart now. Citrus canker, bacterial disease, it will spread through air. Rust of wheat, it's a fungal disease and it spreads through air and seeds. Then yellow vein mosaic.
How seeds become?
Seeds means the grains. So when the grains are along with the other seeds, this can get transmitted. And if the spoiled seeds are used, if the spoiled seeds are used for raising the crop, then that plants also can get affected. Citrus canker, rust of wheat, yellow vein, mosaic disease of bindi or okra. Is that clear? Have you learned?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we are going to learn about a new topic, that is food poisoning. So before we proceed to that, I just want to know the names of these diseases. I will ask you. Don't shout out the answer. Caroline, tell me the fungal disease found in plants. Name a fungal disease found in plants.
Rust of wheat.
Rust of wheat. Bacterial disease, Abhinand. Bacterial disease found in plants.
Citrus
Canker. Citrus canker. Repeat.
citrus canker.
Where you are looking? Citrus canker.
Citrus canker.
Good. Now, one more disease we learned. What was that? Lakshmi Chandra, the viral disease.
Rust of wheat, ma'am.
Viral disease. Just now we told about rust of wheat. Viral disease.
Ma'am, yellow vein mosaic of
Yellow vein, mosaic of bindi or okra or lady's finger. You can see the veins will get or veins will change its color. Discoloration of the veins can be seen. Okay, Amal? Amal?
Yes,
Are you eating something? No. Are you eating something? No. Then name a bacterial disease found in plants.
Citrus canker.
Okay, citrus canker. We'll continue with food poisoning. Already I gave you a definition about food poisoning. How do you get food poisoning, children? Angelia, wait. Angelia, how do we get food poisoning? Angelia, are you there? Issa?
Through contaminated food products.
How the food is getting contaminated? I told you one method by means of which the food gets contaminated.
the body of the hair sticks to the.
Other than that,
The flies.
anyway, they are transmitting these germs.
Some insects and animals act as carriers of disease.
Okay, you are saying that when some flies are sitting on layer, for example, house fly, when it lands on a food item, they will transfer the germs. But what these germs do with the food? How can they contaminate?
They produce eggs.
They produce eggs. They lay eggs over there. I gave you one more point.
Excrete.
In the introduction, when I introduced harmful microorganisms, I had mentioned this point. Some of the microorganisms, they can grow on these food items. And then what will happen? Upon growing, what do they release?
Pathogens.
What do they? Exactly. They make the food poisonous. They'll produce some toxic substances.
Pathogen.
Toxic substances means poisonous substances. And if you consume it, what will happen?
We get
Poisoning.
You will get affected by food poisoning. And how can you make out that the food has got poisoned? Food is not healthy to eat. How do you understand?
Should be
formation
covered.
of
Wait, you understand my question and then answer. How can you make out that this food is not good for eating? We have to discard it. How can we make out externally? But just by seeing. Seeing or other methods? Yes.
some growth on
You
the
can see some
mold.
growth, okay, mold or some fungal growth. That means the color of the food item can change. Then only color.
flies, insects.
Insects will come and sit. Then that even if the food is not poisoned, they will come and sit. Only color will change. Only color will change.
Ma'am,
What
the
about the
things will
smell?
go on.
What about the smell?
very blood smell.
Smell will change, the usual smell you will not get if it has got spoiled. Some foul smell will be released. Then correct. Exactly. The taste, if you try to taste, it will not taste the same. The taste, smell, color, everything will get changed. Okay, we will learn more about food poisoning now.
I got food poisoning.
We all might have got at least once in our lifetime.
No, ma'am.
No. Oh. Some are very conscious about their health. Okay, now listen.
Especially
Food poisoning could be due to the consumption of food spoiled by some microorganism. When some microorganisms spoil the food items, the food gets contaminated, and if you consume it, you can get sick. And how it is getting spoiled? Because the microorganisms which grow on these food items will release some toxic substances. If you consume these toxic substances along with the food, that can cause serious illness, severe diarrhea or vomiting. And in the severe cases, it can even result in the death of the person. Have you heard? Have you read at least in newspaper or heard in news that people died out of food poisoning? No.
No, ma'am.
A few years back, I still remember that Trivandrum, or I don't remember exactly the details. People after having shawarma from a particular hotel, I think 1 or 2 died.
Nipah virus.
What we are saying is about food poisoning, not about Nipah virus.
But because
Yes.
of
Yes, because when you consume those fruits which are that is a different way, different method, and you're getting Nipah. The disease is known as Nipah, but here it is food poisoning. Just by having stale food, there is we cannot say that this is a particular any other microbial disease, but different microbes. Actually, the causative organism is the microbe that is growing on it and releasing toxic substances. So we can always prevent and protect from these diseases by discarding such food item. But when we are dining outside, we cannot check whether they are maintaining hygiene or they are using fresh food items. Sometimes leftover food also, they can make it hot and serve it attractively. After what you say, they can garnish it, and then when they present it, especially in 5-star hotels and all, you will think these are seeing the garnishing and all, you will think these are fresh food items. But which one will be more healthy, children? Even though the taste can be a bit less, which one is healthy food? Homely food.
Made in the home.
Because your mother is adding what extra element in that other than the
Love.
spices?
Love.
That
Yeah.
is why. But once in a while, you all can have from outside, but always see that you don't buy anything from the street vendors. Go to only those hotels who are maintaining or where proper hygiene is maintained. And then once in a while, we all will like to have a different taste at times. So once in a while, you all can go. But I think you all prefer to have once in a while from home. Am I right? Yes. Okay. Hence, it is very important that we preserve the food to prevent it from spoiling. So what we can do is preserve it. There are 2 advantages of preserving food. One is that there won't be any wastage of food, because you know that in many places people are starving, they are not having sufficient food to eat. So we should not waste food. So see that you preserve the food properly, so you can save food and you can protect yourself from
Poisoning.
food poisoning. See here you can see the pictures of a few food items spoiled, like fungal growth on the bread. Bread is such food items we always throw it off, and spoiled carrots, and then again some other vegetables also you can see all these are spoiled. So food can be spoiled by microorganisms. Bad smell, bad taste, and even bad flavor. The change in flavor also indicates that the food has got spoiled, and all that is due to food poisoning. Food can be preserved by protecting it from microorganisms. So how do you preserve the food? By protecting it, by keeping it away from microorganisms. How can you keep it away from microorganisms? That we are going to learn next. There are several methods by means of which you can preserve food. You might have seen your mother doing in the kitchen. Yes.
Can I show the slide?
Yes, Amal?
Can I show the slide?
Oh, yes, I will show it again. The last slide, no? This one? No, okay. So think about some food preservation methods adopted by your mother or grandmother in the kitchen. I'm going to ask
Using
you.
salt.
Yes, Sriram?
Using salt.
I will give you a chance. Wait. Don't refer the textbook. I'm not asking you to read out
Ma'am,
the
I'm
points.
not referring the textbook. ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Amal, once you've completed, let me know.
Ma'am,
We can-
finished.
Okay. We can preserve food items by keeping it away from microorganisms. So we will not get affected by food poisoning. There won't be any wastage of food. And since ancient times, we had been adopting different methods for preserving food. So those methods which you have seen or which you're familiar with, you can share. So one point, who was that? Sriram. Was that Sriram? Yes. Sriram told that by adding salt. Give me an example or explain it, how it is done, which food items.
We're making pickles.
While making pickle, we will add more salt. It won't be same as what we add in curries and all. It will be little extra. Why? Why, Sriram? Because salt is a good preservative. Then only in pickles we add salt.
No, ma'am, while we are making salt mango simply.
Salt mango.
Is ma'am
Means
to preserve
like mango, as such, you can preserve it in salt water. Or you can apply salt on whether it is vegetable or fruits. You can, fruits
We
usually
wash
we
it
go by
salt.
some other method. Raw vegetables and all, you can apply salt.
Meat.
Either you can make it into pickle or you can spread it under the sun. After applying salt, you can spread it under the sun. Why spreading it under the sun?
Heat.
dry.
What will be reduced when you spread under the sun? Moisture content. Where the moisture will go?
Evaporate.
It will evaporate because of the heat of the sun. Why it is important that the moisture should be less?
Moisture attracts microorganisms.
Very good. When moisture is more, microorganisms can grow easily. When moisture is less, they cannot easily grow. This I have told you earlier also. When you store things at home, like for example, pulses, you can store outside the fridge. It won't get spoiled easily. Rice, wheat grains, rice grains, or different type of pulses, you can keep it outside safely. It won't get easily spoiled. But what about vegetables? You need to keep it inside the, maybe 1 or 2 days they'll remain fresh, but after that they'll start to get spoiled. What is the main difference between these two?
The grains are dried.
They are dried before storing itself or before coming to the market itself. It was these products were dried properly. Moisture had been removed, so it can be preserved as such for a long period of time. Okay, whereas this vegetables and all, their moisture content is more, so there are chances that they get easily spoiled. So we keep inside refrigerator. Leftover curries also
In refrigerator.
inside the refrigerator. Why do we keep inside the refrigerator? What is special about that? What is special about a refrigerator? If you compare
Very cold.
outside the
Very
fridge,
cold.
it is very cold. Now, what cold or this low temperature has to do with preservation?
Will be bad, teacher.
At low temperature, who
Bacteria
cannot
cannot
survive?
Bacteria.
Microorganisms cannot survive. That is why. Okay. Then only by cooling we can preserve food.
Freezing.
Heating.
What is the opposite of cooling?
Heating.
Heating. By heating can we preserve?
Boiling.
What about milk?
Yes, ma'am.
Pasteurization.
Because if it is raw milk, it can get spoiled fast. But once the milk is boiled thoroughly, then it can be preserved for a little longer time. Not indefinitely. I'm not saying that you can preserve like this for months, but when compared to raw milk. And children, when you buy milk packets from outside, have you seen there? It is written pasteurized milk. That you don't have to boil. Directly you can drink if you want. Why? What is that pasteurization?
Salt milk, ma'am. They are salt.
It is subjected to specific treatments. You will learn about it so that the milk is free for consumption or the germs are killed. So we discussed about heating, cooling, adding salt. Any other
I don't like
methods?
pasteurized milk.
Fermentation.
Fermentation for preserving.
Ma'am, fermented tea.
Fermented tea that can be preserved for a longer time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, maybe I'm not familiar with that. I will check. Then what else?
Vinegar.
Vinegar.
By adding vinegar. Where do you add vinegar?
Pickles.
Pickles. Then oil. See, when you prepare oil, you might have seen that your mother will add, either she will add oil in such a way that a layer is formed on the top, or else she will take a neat cotton cloth, dip it in oil and spread above that. You might have seen all that. If oil is less, it can be spoiled easily. So oil, vinegar, etc. will help in preserving the food items because microbes cannot grow in the presence of vinegar and oil. Then what about sugar? Why did you discard sugar when you said about salt?
Jams and jelly.
We prepare jams, jellies,
Ice cream.
squashes. Ice creams, we need fridge to be preserved. Jams, squashes and all you can preserve for a longer time. For example, in a particular season, mangoes are in plenty and you got so much ripe mangoes and you had your tummy full, you distributed it to your neighbors, still you have plenty. Then you can prepare jams, squashes and all with that, which you can preserve for a longer time. So there are. Then children, when you told me about salt, you didn't tell me about preserving non-veg items using salt.
Meat.
Meat, fish, salted fish, you don't like?
Yes, ma'am.
Salted fish, salted meat, and even
Dried
prawns also. Prawns, we
Dried
don't
prawns.
add salt. Simply, it will be dried under the sun. Complete moisture will be removed and it can be stored for a long period of time. So these are some of the methods. Now let's see. Chemical method. The first method of food preservation is chemical method. Only one method we will learn today. Food items like pickles can be preserved by using common chemicals like salt and edible oils. So these are commonly used chemicals. Salt and edible oils can be used to preserve items like pickles. Then when jams, squashes, etc. are prepared on a large scale for commercial purpose, they add some chemical preservatives which are not harmful to us in small amounts. Sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite. You should learn these names. Sodium benzoate and sodium. Both starts with sodium. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. You can see the pictures of both these chemicals here. These chemicals are known as preservatives because they will help in preserving the food. So the first method is chemical method. common chemicals like even salt, sugar, edible oils, vinegar, etc. can be used for preserving food. And some other chemical preservatives used include sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate. They are commonly used to prepare jams and squashes. So all the chemicals which are used to preserve food items, we can call as preservatives. Is it clear?
Ma'am, I have sodium benzoate in my home.
What for you are storing it at home? For preserving?
Squash.
Okay. Okay. Who is preparing squash?
Mother.
Oh, sells also or only for your purpose?
Ma'am, neighbors.
Ah, very good.
She's social worker.
See, who asked me just now? You can't see me. My video is off.
Ma'am, your video is
Not off, but blank.
Just a minute. Children, just a few minutes back, our who said that Gauri Shankari told about fermented tea. No, fermentation as such, it can be used as a preservative method, because what happens? What is produced as a result of fermentation? You have learned last class. No, this class, not last class. Same chapter when we learned about
alcohol.
preparation of wines and all we have learned.
Alcohols.
It will produce alcohol. And alcohol and acid are produced by means of fermentation. So this alcohol and acid can act as preservative. So fermentation is also a method of preservation. Once fermented, alcohols or acids will be released, which will act as a preservative.
And then the tea and all will taste like alcohol.
That is once fermented, some changes. So it is producing alcohol or acid. So that can help in preserving those food items. So can I take the attendance? See you next class.
Thank you.